Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm back with my third video. Depending on what you see, maybe my second video in this vlog series about Kratom and its effects, coming off of Kratom, withdrawals that may be associated with it. And it's funny because I'm calling these videos, naming them Kratom withdrawals, but I feel like I should name them Kratom extract withdrawals. So just to be clear, I've been, messing around with Kratom for probably 2 or 3 years now. I do have a previous history. This is more than 10 years ago, 10, 15, 20 years ago, that I had a really rough addiction with heavy painkillers, with anywhere from Vicodin to Percocets and stuff like that. And I'm a person who has experienced full on opiate or narcotic sort of withdrawals from things like taking a massive amount of Percocets, and every day I was definitely abusing the medications. And so I can't imagine what's worse. I've never gone through an H, and again, I don't want to get shadow banned, so I don't want to say the word associated with H, but that's H, if you get my drift. So I've never gone through H withdrawal because I explained in my last video, I've only done H one time in my life, and I actually snorted it in a powder form. So I never built up any sort of tolerance of anything like that because I just never did it really, except that one time. So I don't know how bad H withdrawal is, but the withdrawal that I experienced from the painkillers that I was taking 10, 15 years ago was bad. It was really bad. I'm talking about I didn't sleep for 2 weeks, restless legs, severe extreme diarrhea, severe extreme cold chills, sweating, you're hot 1 minute, you turn the air on because you're hot, and then immediately you're freezing to death because you turn the air on. You just can't get comfortable. Horrible restless legs. I already said that, I believe. Huge, massive discomfort in your chest at night where you just have to clench up. Your body is just in complete haywire mode when you come off of something like that. And I'm a person who has experienced those sort of withdrawals. So for me, Kratom is something somewhat different. And kind of the word on the street and on the internet is that Kratom's not as bad as it's much lesser, to a much lesser degree than is something like a painkiller, a synthesized painkiller like Percocet or Vicodin or stuff like that. So I'm not necessarily here to corroborate that and say that it's true, but I'm also not here to really say that it's false. I hope to clear up that which is myth and draw light to that which is fact in this matter. So let me start by saying I've been taking Kratom for probably about 3 years. First couple of years I started off just taking the capsules. I was taking I never was taking an ungodly amount of Kratom. It's just something, for one thing, I work a job and I'm a responsible adult, so I don't have time to just sit around and try to fix my phone here. I don't have time to just sit around high on Kratom all day. So that's one thing. The second thing is I just have this, I guess I have this button inside my head that when I start to take too much of something like that, that button gets pushed. Maybe it's because of my background with abusing narcotic medications, but if I get to where I'm taking too many, I'm just like, I kind of back off. Something doesn't feel right about it. So it was like that. I think because of my background with opiate medications, it was like that with Kratom. So I was never taking, at my most, I was taking maybe 10 to 13 grams of Kratom per day. Depending on who you are, you might hear that and be like, damn, that's a lot, or I've seen online people that were taking 20, 30 grams of Kratom per day just by the spoonful. I was taking the capsules, so it was more like I was administering them to myself several times a day. Most of the time I was waiting, 4 hours, 6 hours in between dosages so that I wasn't just cramming Kratom in my mouth all day. And I also exercise, I jog and things like that to help kind of sweat it out. I'm a person who stays hydrated. I drink a decent amount of water. So all of those things will probably are playing a factor in what kind of withdrawal symptoms that I actually experience. But so I was never taking any more than about 10 to 13 grams of Kratom per day. And I did that for probably about 2 years. Not much of an issue. There was a couple of times where I decided, I'm going to stop doing this. It's not really doing me any good, and like a lot of people who are addicted to things, I got to that point where I don't really want to do this anymore. And so I decided I was going to stop, and I did discover that I had some not major, but some discomfort with stopping. And I do recall that first time trying to quit Kratom, not sleeping very well that previous night, or the first night that I had not taken them. And I recall going back on them for that reason. I was like, no, man, I can't, that's the whole story, right? Staying away from the withdrawals. That's what, as an addict, kind of keeps us in that mode of just using, because the uncomfortable nature of the withdrawals is something that is not fun, man. It's just not fun. And if you've ever been through it, it's not a quick thing. It goes on for, the physical part of it can go on for 2 weeks, even longer sometimes. The mental and emotional part of it can extend even longer than that. And it's somewhat like a roller coaster when you're coming off of an opiate sort of medication. You'll have days where, well, it's not that bad. I feel like I'm starting to kind of come out of it. And then the very next day, you're back down here again, and you feel like crap, and you're depressed, and it just wreaks havoc on your body, and your neurons and that fire in your brain, your chemicals, your dopamine levels, your serotonin levels, everything that has to do with mood. It just does this with it, and your body's just like, don't know whether it's coming or going, like, what's going on, where's the drugs, and during that time that your body is trying to readjust to not having this drug is what we refer to as withdrawal, where you feel sick and depressed, and your mood is low, and all these things. So did Kratom for a couple of years, the Kratom capsules, never taken an ungodly amount, 10 to maybe 13 grams per day. A couple of times I might have went a little heavy and got up to maybe 13, 15 grams per day. That's probably the most I'd ever taken in one day. Well, then I found the extracts, and I still remember the day that I walked into the head shop, to buy my normal capsules, and I look and I see the MIT 45s, sitting there with all the rest of the Kratom in the same case. And of course I had to ask, well, what's this? I'd never heard of them. And, the owner, who I come to find out later, has an issue with MITs and was struggling to come off of them himself. It's like, well, you never tried those? Oh man, they're good. You never try, you should get you one of those and try it. And, of course, I had that voice in the back of my head, dude, it's probably not a good idea. Not for you, it's not a good idea. And, but of course, I didn't listen, and I got one. And I went home with it that evening. He told me, drink it, and then take I think you call it like a perpetuator, like coffee, or drink it with something like that, so that you get the full effect of it. It kind of enhances the effect of the Kratom. So I went home, I did that, and I sat down and I thought, oh, I'm in trouble. I mean, I felt like I had taken an oxycodone. I felt like I had taken a Percocet back in the day. And then I had the immediate thought of, damn, These things are legal, dude. These things are legal. They're sitting in 100 Kratom shops, 100 head shops, which are within 30 miles of my home, have these. I can go in anytime. Nobody's going to question me as long as I have the money, which I do. My wife and I are both professionals and we make good money, which unfortunately is probably kind of a trigger for me. A lot of people would go broke buying these things, man. They're 14, 15 bucks a pop. And, you know, I cringe at times from the amount of money that I'm actually spending on them. But, of course, I've been spending them anyway. So, I knew I was in trouble the first time I took it, and sure enough, that's been roughly about a year, 2 or 3 months, something like that. I discovered the MIT somewhere around maybe August, September of 2021, I think, and we're now in March of 2023. So you're looking at, you know, about a year and a half, right at a year and a half that I've been messing with the extracts. So where I'm at now is I'm on my second day off of the extracts. And let me just say right out of the gate, I have not come off of Kratom altogether. I just haven't, because like I said, I work a professional job. I get paid a professional salary. I just got promoted to a new position. I have to be on point, man. I have to be on my P's and Q's, and I can't be laying out of work. And so it's one of those things where to keep things rolling, I can't just do this thing cold turkey. And I have quit Kratom cold turkey, and I will talk about that in one of my subsequent videos, because I did quit it completely cold turkey at one time, and this was the extracts too. I just quit everything, and I'll outline that a little bit. I'm not going to go into that in this video. I'm going to talk about the here and the now a little bit. So what I'm doing is, well, let me back up. The amount of the euphoria causing compound that is in the extract is so much larger than what you're getting from taking the Kratom powder capsules, or the Kratom powder itself. Is so much larger that if you stop taking the extracts but you continue taking the Kratom powder or the capsules, you're probably going to experience some withdrawals. I have. So let me just say, I'm not off of Kratom right now. I'm still taking Kratom. In fact, today, up until it's, 12 o'clock or 12:30 right now, I've probably taken anywhere from 5 to 6 grams of Kratom today so far. And so I'm not completely off of it, but I don't feel that great, to be honest with you. My mood's a little low. I don't really have the energy that I normally do. And this is my second full day off of the extract. And I didn't sleep worth a damn last night. Unfortunately, I was kind of anticipating it. I kind of knew it was going to happen. Your sleep becomes really, really restless. I'm taking enough of the Kratom capsules to where I'm not going into full-blown withdrawal. But like I said, the euphoria causing compound is so much less in the capsules than it is these little bottles of extract, where it's so concentrated in there that you are going to experience, and I am experiencing, some slight withdrawals. Mostly right now it's just lower mood, low energy. I'm a little bit lethargic, and the worst part, man, is sleep. I haven't experienced, or lack of sleep, I haven't experienced the worst of it, because like I said, I'm still on, roughly maybe 10, 11 grams of Kratom per day right now. I'm just not taking it in the extract form. But still, even with 11 grams of Kratom yesterday, I still didn't sleep worth a damn last night. Very restless sleep. It was not restful at all. Went to sleep or dozed off maybe about 11:30, something like that. And I was not surprised at all that I woke up just a few hours after going to sleep, somewhere around 2:30. I woke up, looked at the clock. Yep, it's 2:30, and here I am. I'm awake. I couldn't sleep through the night. And from 2:30 on until the time I got up the next morning, I slept actual sleep maybe an hour. I'm not sure, but within that 4.5 hours till I had to get up, it was like you're in this slumber where, I don't know if you call it a slumber, but you're kind of, that point where you're kind of in between sleep and not sleep. You're not necessarily asleep because you're not dreaming or anything like that, but you're not necessarily awake with your eyes open or moving around either. You're aware that you're laying there in bed and you're not sleeping, but the chemicals in your brain are such to where you're trying really hard to sleep. Your body is trying really hard to sleep, but because the chemicals are so messed up, it just won't let you completely drift off into REM sleep. So that's the word I'm looking at. Your REM sleep really suffers with something like this. And like I said, this is not complete full-on withdrawal for me. I'm still taking some Kratom. This is just me coming off of the extracts and taking just 10 to 12 grams of the Kratom powder per day via the capsules. So that's where I'm at now. What I plan to do is a taper off of the Kratom, and I'm gonna do that like week by week. And so the rest of this week, I'm gonna continue to take probably 10 to 12, maybe up to 13 grams of the Kratom powder per day. And then starting next week, I'll probably knock that down by a gram. I'll start taking maybe 10 grams of Kratom per day. And I'm thinking I probably won't sleep again very well tonight. Maybe tomorrow night I'll get a little bit more sleep. And I think probably by Friday, it's Wednesday right now, probably by Friday night, my sleep pattern will probably be back to maybe 75% of what I consider a 100%, full-on normal sleep pattern. And that's just from coming off of the extracts and how strong the extracts are. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I have so many stories to share with you guys about my past history with drug use. And if you've watched my first video, I've talked a little bit about it, but I haven't really gone into any specific stories as of yet. But if you keep listening, I will. And I'm going to divulge a lot of things to you. It's funny because right now these videos are more just for me, therapy, to help me get through this difficult time. And I've made each one of these videos private right now. So if you're watching this video right now in your timestamp and in your own place and time, then I must have kept going, and I must have, I must have kept the course of coming off of the Kratom, because I'm keeping these private right now because I really honestly cannot decide if I want to keep doing this, because I kind of feel like shit. And it's, my wife is one of those people where she doesn't abuse drugs at all, but she will drink, and she'll drink a little something every night, but she never has a problem with it. And she's a professional and very, very responsible. And but she's the type of person too, she knows that it's my own battle to fight, and she supports me. She hates seeing me not doing well and upset and not sleeping or my mood down or whatever. She can't stand that. So she's one of those people that she's too soft-hearted towards me, where if I want to go and get another extract after I get off of work today, she wouldn't have a problem with it. And like I said, we make good money, so I'm not going broke doing it. This is something that I have to do for myself, and something that I just need to do and want to do. So if you're in that same boat, and if you've dealt with any drug addiction or drug abuse involving opiates, and this is something that you find interesting and it inspires you, and maybe you're thinking about coming off of them, and you have received some negative consequences associated with them or with coming off of them, subscribe to the channel, man, because I'm gonna keep doing this. Like I said, if you're seeing this right now, then I must have kept going, because right now all the videos are private, and I'm doing that just in case I puss out, to be honest with you, and I go back on the extracts, because I've been on them for a little while now. But next video, I'll tell the story about when I actually quit cold turkey the extracts, and didn't take not one speck of Kratom for over a month, and like an idiot, I decided I could control it, and I was just gonna, set myself a schedule, and I was gonna not take them throughout the week. It's just gonna be my weekend, party time drug. And then I was off the week during the week when I had to work. I was gonna come off of that. Lasted about 2 weeks, and then I was pretty much back on them. That addict mentality. But hey, like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you listening. If it's helping you, great. It's definitely therapy for me, getting these thoughts and everything off of my chest, and I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. And leave a comment below, let me know your thoughts, and if you're going through something like this, there's power in numbers, so we can support each other through it. All right, guys, I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Peace.